All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. From the Charlotte Roval, Jesse Gordon and CJ Jeffries have the front row. Patrick Pieper and Christopher White on the second row. David Farnan, Devin McDonald on the third. Matthew Logan, Chad Ragsdale on the fourth. Austin Ruskoff and Joshua Rudolph round out the top 10. Brian Hewitt starting in 11th next to Ryan McDaniel in 12th. That row will be dangerous. Thomas Myers back in the car after a long absence in 13th. Scott Roney in 14th. Mark the Man Dantuma rounding out the 15-car field here tonight. Everybody gets stacked up on the grid. The Porsche pace car about to lead them out. CJ Jeffries, Jesse Gordon, both extremely good at road racing. Most of the field will be chasing these two guys all night long. But a lot of exceptional road course racers in the field. Patrick Pieper in third. Mark Dantuma back in 15th after not qualifying. Drivers are looking at 14 to 16 laps on a tank of fuel, so it will be a two-stop race. But one of those stops likely to just be a splash and go just to get fuel. They come back out onto the oval banking. As always, folks, if you have a favorite driver in the field, don't forget to drop in the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for. And you might want to buckle up. The first couple of laps here tonight are going to get spicy. A smaller field than usual starting here tonight, but still 15 cars starting. How many are going to make it to the end? They also have to be careful on the start here. As we saw here Thursday night, getting on the gas at the wrong time, you will get a penalty and it'll be a huge setback. It is a bit tricky coming through that final chicane. All right, the pace car dives in. Jesse brings him down through the chicane. And out of the chicane, the green flag flies. We are down and away at the Charlotte Roval. Everybody looks like they are making it through turn one clean. Jesse Gordon does hold on to the lead. CJ in second. As they come through the new configuration to the infield, that uphill section definitely easier in this configuration, less likely to see cars go off in the grass. Tight turn back out onto the oval. Brian Hewitt, Ryan McDaniel still side by side. Well, that could be a problem. Thomas Myers back in the car for the first time, and he is on the attack. Jesse Gordon heading into that final chicane. Looks like he is going to lead lap 1. And so far, no major problems on track. Everybody still pointed the right way. Chad Ragsdale already up a couple of spots into 6th. He is closing in on David Farnan. Jesse Gordon almost has a 2-second lead already over CJ. Austin Ruskoff, another driver who needs a good finish tonight to stay in the playoffs. Brian Hewitt has had a problem back behind. There's Brian coming out of the infield. Oh, he cuts it too much. Gets on the power and it just sends him around. Backs it into the inside wall, but keeps her going. Gerald, I'm guessing they had a little bit of leniency here tonight. Chad Ragsdale has just picked up a slowdown as Ryan McDaniel has also had a problem. Ryan coming out of that final chicane. Oh, just missed his braking point on entry. Overshot turn 1, but does get it corrected, undamaged. And Christopher White a moment ago had a bit of an off track. Just goes a bit, wow, he is really sending it. Yep. Just kisses the tire barrier. Jesse Gordon still out front. And Brian Hewitt has had another problem. Hewitt once again coming out onto the banking. Looked like he kissed the wall. Oh! On the power, he goes straight up. Looks like he got on the power as he shifted, and the back end just snapped on him. You'd think because these guys drive on the ovals all the time, it's easy, but man, getting these cars to go from flat to banking, coming up through the gears is very, very tricky. Ryan McDaniel and Brian Hewitt are both on pit road. Looks like both are in for early repairs. CJ Jeffries in second, almost 4 seconds back now. Patrick Pieper in third. David Farnan up to 4. Chad Ragsdale has made his way to 5th. Christopher White in 6th. Devin McDonald in 7th. Matthew Logan in 8th. Those three right there close. Austin Ruskoff back in 9th. Joshua Rudolph in 10th. Thomas Myers up to 11th so far. Scott Roney in 12th. Mark D'Antuma starting to move in 13th. But keep an eye on D'Antuma. He's in his Chevy tonight, so he has got a chance at victory. Ryan McDaniel in 14th. Brian Hewitt in 15th. Ryan had a problem a moment ago. Ryan and Brian both having difficulties here tonight. Oh, Ryan overshot into the grass, slams the brakes. He does keep it out of the wall. Jesse continuing to pull away. 4.5 seconds over CJ. Remember, any little mistake here tonight could have a huge impact. Tina, you're absolutely right. Ryan definitely should try running the rest of the race in reverse. It worked really well at qualifying. Joshua Rudolph in 10th is closing the gap on Austin Ruskoff. Up ahead, Chad Ragsdale in 5th as Devin McDonald in 6th. Christopher White in 7th. Matthew Logan in 8th. All right there, fairly close to each other. And man, you have to hope Devin has a good race here tonight. He has had some really great races, but caught up in incidents that have been huge setbacks the last couple of weeks. Hopefully his luck turns around tonight. Whoa, Devin sent it way deep. He will have a penalty on that. And he is losing ground. He has cleared the penalty, but he drops to 8th. Man, what a heartbreak for Devin. Hopefully he can make a move and get back to the front. Showing the speed of Jesse Gordon at the moment. We're going to ride along with him for the next lap, and you guys will be able to see what gears he's in and everything. Let's dial up Jesse's in-car camera as he comes through the final chicane. Oh, a little drift out of the final chicane on the power. Oh, he's in the wall. Keeps it pointed the right way, gets it gathered up. On the power, down into the right-hander. Most of this infield being done in second gear until here, where they really start to crank it up, and you see he's fighting the wheel awfully hard. Just not a lot of grip in these cars. Down into first as he goes through the hairpin, back onto the banking. Starting to work back up through the gears as he aims to shoot down the backstretch. Hits that 5, starts getting on the brakes and downshifting. You have to time it right to not break the car loose as you're slowing down. Come out of the bus stop, back on the power, into 3 and 4. all the way up to fourth gear before getting on the brakes hard into the final chicane. And he powers out to cross the start-finish line. Jesse did that lap in 126.69, and tire wear is already starting to show. As Gerald's saying, it's easy to burn up the rear tires here. And whoa, Jesse goes a bit wide. His lead's still growing. Coming through the gears up and even under braking, it's easy to get those tires hot. They start to melt, they lose grip, and they get greasy. We mentioned tire wear starting to show. Jesse's fastest lap, 124.51. Last time by, 126.69. Most of the drivers seeing 1.5 to 2 seconds slower laps. And they're only about 8.5 laps into it. Chad Ragsdale has made his way up to fourth. He's about 11.5 seconds behind Patrick Pieper, but he is closing in. David Farnan now in fifth, Matthew Logan in sixth, Christopher White in seventh. Devin McDonald in eighth is closing back in on that group ahead. So you know he's going to be extra careful in the final chicane the rest of the night. Jesse's lead continues to grow, almost 7 seconds. But he might have an unfair advantage with the bat symbol on the car. He does call that car the Batmobile. It may be giving him a huge advantage here tonight. And we're just about 4 laps away from pit stops. Most of the drivers looking at 14 to 16 laps on a tank of fuel. At the moment, Chad Ragsdale in fourth is the fastest on track. Brian Hewitt and Ryan McDaniel both still on track, and what likely is worrying the rest of the field is they are close together. Devin McDonald is in early. However, if Devin gets fresh tires right now, Austin Ruskoff is in. Looks like they're going to try and split this race up evenly, knowing that they've got to make 2 stops. Devin hits his pit stall and is up for tires. Will anybody try a fuel-only stop tonight? Austin hits his stall. He is up for tires. Will the short pitting strategy pay off? They will have the freshest tires as they come back out. Thomas Myers is also in. A 1.5 to 2 seconds a lap faster at the moment could give Devin and Austin a huge advantage. CJ Jeffries is in. Christopher White also in. CJ going to try and take advantage to close the gap back up on Jesse Gordon. Looks like quite a few drivers decided to try short pitting to see if they can make up some ground. But oftentimes short pitting only works if nobody else does it. At the moment, about half the field has already been in. Thomas Myers has had a problem in the hairpin. Remember, Thomas has not been in the rig for almost a year. He is an experienced road racer, but it all went wrong there. Just got on the brakes, too much rear bias, and the back end steps out. David Farnan also had an issue a moment ago. Wow, a lot of momentum coming out of the banking. Oh, he missed the entry to the bus stop. He does have to stop and give that time back. Patrick Pieper, Matthew Logan, David Farnan, and Mark Dantuma all in. As Scott Roney has had a problem in the final chicane. Here comes Roney into the final chicane, hard on the brakes. You see the flames as he downshifts, but not slow enough, and ow! Jumps the curbing, but does manage to keep it out of the wall. The leader is on pit road. Chad Ragsdale has not come in yet, nor has Scott Roney. Ragsdale continuing to stay out. Oh, he cut that a bit. He will get a slowdown on that. But it looks like he is going to try and go around to pick up some bonus points for leading a lap. If he can hold Jesse Gordon off, Jesse rolls off pit road. Thomas Myers has had a problem. Remember, Thomas just came off pit road on cold tires into the bus stop. On the power, just snaps loose and ends up in the outside wall. And look at this, Jesse Gordon has taken the lead back. Ragsdale did not get the opportunity to lead a lap, and he has also not been in yet. Ragsdale started back in 8th, had been moving up all night. Chad's still not coming in. Devin McDonald on the march, trying to make up what he lost earlier. He is now back up into 7th. CJ Jeffries, meanwhile, in 3rd, is closing in on Ragsdale. I am really surprised Chad has not been in yet. But Jesse just passed him a lap ago and has already checked back out to a 5-second lead as CJ Jeffries goes back to 2nd. if we can dial up Ragsdale's in-car camera to see if he is having some sort of a problem. Nope, engine sounds fine. And now Ragsdale's coming in. Meanwhile, Jesse Gordon just set the fastest lap of the night, 124.38. I'm wondering if Chad Ragsdale was trying to stretch his fuel so late in the race he can come in for a shorter pit stop than everybody else. Devin McDonald is closing the gap on Matthew Logan. Ragsdale on his way back out. He'll come out in 7th. Yeah, they will need at least one more stop. The question is, can Ragsdale do a fuel only now that he has waited this long? Well, Devin a little bit squirrely out of the hairpin. He gets it gathered up. CJ Jeffries now back in 2nd. Patrick Pieper in 3rd. Christopher White in 4th. Christopher White had a big problem. All right, keep an eye on Christopher as he comes down the back straightaway. On the brakes, gets it into the bus stop, but the back end just steps out. He hits that curbing and it sends him around. Oh, a little contact coming back out. Jesse Gordon, meanwhile, continuing to extend his lead, now 9.3 seconds over CJ. Patrick Pieper in 3rd, about 11.25 seconds back. Matthew Logan in 4th. Devin McDonald battling with Ragsdale for 5th. Oh, this will be interesting. Devin outbrakes him. Ragsdale misses the entry. Chad holds on to 6th. David Farnan just behind in 7th. Devin definitely on maximum attack, trying to make up ground after his early incident. Jesse Gordon just out for a Sunday evening drive. His lead now 10.25 seconds. Austin Ruskoff has lost some ground. He is back in 11th. The short pit strategy does not appear to have helped. However, Mark D'Antumo started tail end of the field, now up to 9th, and he's not done yet. Remember, Chad Ragsdale there in the purple car. He does have the freshest tires on track at the moment. Ryan McDaniel is off-roading back behind. All right, there's Ryan having just come into the infield. Gets onto that infield straightaway, sends it down into the turn, overshoots it, gets into the tires, tries to save it, but ends up sliding through the grass. Finally gets it on track, and a close call for CJ. Ryan did get quite a bit of the lawn mowed, though. Jesse Gordon now into lap traffic. That'll be the most dangerous point of the night for Jesse Gordon. Now that he has such a big lead coming through lap traffic, could be the only problem he has tonight. Joshua Rudolph now in the ninth, haven't gotten past Mark Dantuma. Patrick Pieper in third did get a penalty in the infield. Did lose some ground. He is now 11 seconds behind CJ. Thomas Myers, Ryan McDaniel, Brian Hewitt, all with technical issues tonight. All three still on track. David Farnan holding on to 6, having just held off the attack by Devin. As they both close back up on Chad at the moment. Ryan McDaniel has come to pit road. Ragsdale catching a little bit of the infield there. He did get a slowdown. That does have it cleared by turn 1. Thirteen laps to go for Jesse Gordon. He is now actually within the fuel window. He went 13 laps on his first run, so easily within the window from here. Most of the field now within the window. They can go the distance if they come to pit road now. Chad Ragsdale still trying to close in on Matthew Logan. Matthew Logan just having a quiet night in 4th place. Just setting consistent laps and making up ground. Devin McDonald is the first one in. Hopefully the 4 fresh tires here will allow Devin to fight his way back into the top 5. Austin Ruskoff also coming in. Devin McDonald back out on track. He's currently in 10th, right behind the leader. But Devin is on the fresher tires now. We'll be able to push it a little bit harder than Jesse. And he might try and fight his way back onto the lead. Oh, he is! Man, he was on the power hard coming out of the hairpin. Jesse not even going to try and fight it. He lets Devin go. Chad Ragsdale and Christopher White are in. CJ Jeffries in second is actually gaining a little bit of ground on Jesse, but he's currently 12 1/4 seconds back. But at the moment, he is faster than the leader. And remember, here at the Roval, the whole race could change in the blink of an eye. And Brian Hewitt has had a problem. Hewitt coming down the back straightaway. Gets into the bus stop a little too deep and jumps the curb into the wall. Ouch. Devin McDonald back in 9th, is closing in on 8th place. Chad Ragsdale. Joshua Rudolph in 7th is coming in. Jesse Gordon gives up the lead. He is on pit road. This will be his final stop. CJ Jeffries is going to stay out. Will likely be able to pull off leading a lap. Scott Roney, Joshua Rudolph also both in. Pieper is in as well. As CJ Jeffries is taking the lead, Ryan McDaniel had a problem a moment ago. Ryan heading out of the infield onto the banking, takes that hairpin super wide. Looked like he stopped briefly, but gets rolling again. David Farnan also in for his final stop. Mark Dantuma in for his final stop. Chad Ragsdale has moved back up into 5th. Devin McDonald back in 7th. CJ is in. I'm trying to see if CJ crosses the line in the lead. He does, so he will pick up the bonus points. Jesse Gordon, the only driver that has been scored as leading at the line all night until just a moment ago. And now the leader is in heavy lap traffic. Dan Tuma moves over, lets him by. Matthew Logan giving up fourth. He is in. Jesse clears a little bit of lap traffic, still more ahead. Ninth place, Joshua Rudolph. Matthew Logan on his way out. We may get a battle between Logan and Ragsdale here in a moment. Devin McDonald has moved back up into seventh, trying to close the gap on David Farnan. Joshua Rudolph back out in ninth. Mark Dantuma in 10th is closing in. Jesse gets clear, puts Joshua Rudolph a lap down. Christopher White not that far ahead. Jesse Gordon has dominated this race all night long. His lead is now 13 seconds over CJ. Patrick Pieper in third. Matthew Logan back in fourth. Chad Ragsdale in fifth. David Farnan in sixth. Devin McDonald in seventh. Christopher White currently runs in 8th, Joshua Rudolph in 9th, Mark Dantuma in 10th. Austin Ruskoff has slipped back into 11th. Scott Roney in 12th. Thomas Myers in 13th. Ryan McDaniel, whoa, a little squirrely in the paint, in 14th. And Brian Hewitt in 15th. Mark Dantuma has had a problem coming out of the hairpin. Mark coming through the infield, heads into the hairpin, just on the brakes a little too much. The back end steps out, he quickly recovers. Six laps to go for Jesse Gordon. Hey, good evening, Joe. How are you? Well, Joe, you always count to me, buddy. Matthew Logan again, just a quiet, consistent night. That might have something to do with why he's third in points coming into tonight. And he was just 5 points behind Chad Ragsdale. He'll close a little bit of that gap tonight if he finishes ahead of Ragsdale. Chad currently back in 5th. David Farnan, though, closing in. And wow, next week's elimination race. Tonight's race really shaking up the points. As we've got a battle for 5th out of the second turn. Excuse me. Coming down into the bus stop. Chad got right on Farnan's bumper, but David managed to hold him off. Ragsdale really wants that position back. Ryan McDaniel has had a problem back behind. Ryan once again heading toward the hairpin. Locks the brakes up, gets that turtle in the middle, and pulls a 360 in the infield. David Farnan. Oh, Farnan's drifting out of the hairpin. Ragsdale has the better run out this time. Will it be enough to attack? Ragsdale right to his bumper. Will he make a move into the bus stop? And Chad is using every bit of those bumps, trying to get the run out of the turn. Four laps to go, coming to 3 to go for Jesse Gordon. His lead over 18 seconds over CJ. But I don't think the battle for 5th is over yet. Ragsdale still right on Farnan's bumper. Might have a run to the inside. Farnan holds him off once again. Wow. Every time Chad gets a run or sets up, David just closes the door. Brian Hewitt has had a problem. Coming down toward the bus stop. Oh, he just gets the brakes at the wrong time. Snaps the car around. He tried to save it. Did snap it around and back it into the tires. But he quickly gets going again. Great recovery. Folks, if you're not following on YouTube, you probably ought to be. We had a lot of great action this morning, a lot of great action here tonight. We'll have a lot of YouTube shorts out this week. Jesse Gordon gets popsicle sticks, 2 laps to go on the Roval. David Fart, Chad Ragsdale was in the grass briefly. These two still just battling it out. But Farnan gets a better run out this time. Might finally get away. Ragsdale definitely braking later into the bus stop. Carries more momentum. I think Chad Ragsdale might be one of the best at hitting that bus stop. The only one that's been faster through there tonight, Jesse Gordon. And here he comes out of the final turn. The white flag flies. One more time around for Jesse Gordon. Jesse was fastest in practice. Qualified up front, checked out, and has just run away with it. CJ Jeffries now over 20 seconds back in second. Patrick Pieper still holds on to third. Matthew Logan in fourth. And at the moment, David Farnan in fifth. And down the backstretch, one final time for Jesse Gordon. Nails the bus stop perfectly, falls Devin out. Through NASCAR 3 and 4, down to the front stretch chicane, Jesse Gordon dominates the night. And he will get the win at the Charlotte Roval. CJ Jeffries comes out of turn 4 to finish in second. And Patrick Pieper on his way to the finish line in third. Man, that top three just kind of ran away all night. And we'll get a word with our top three here in just a moment. But folks, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. And don't forget, tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, Jones BS Racing is back. And let's talk to our top three, starting with third place, Patrick Pieper. Pieper, you came home in third. It was a pretty quiet night.
It was a lonely night, man. I feel washed up. 37 seconds back from the leader. That's fucking... Oh, excuse me. That's pretty gnarly because Jesse was just on quite a pace there. And I was kind of holding up on CJ there for a bit. I just didn't want to try and close the gap because the further, the more you try and push here, the kind of scarier it gets with some of the curbs. And so I was just honestly content with third. But yeah, being that far back and it being that spread out felt kind of weird. I know it was a small field tonight, but like I said, Jesse's doing a great job on road courses lately. He won by a similar margin when we did a practice race at Portland a few weeks ago, and yeah, CJ's getting really good too. So like I said, I'm feeling a little bit washed up right now.
Still an awesome, consistent night. You're on the podium, still in the playoffs. Great run tonight.
Thank you, Doug.
CJ Jeffries comes home in second. CJ, I gotta say, you and Peeper both just had very quiet, consistent, fast nights.
It was something. I don't know about quiet. I feel like I was making so many mistakes. Specifically into like the hard braking areas. I felt like I was going to overshoot it a lot.
But you seem to get everything right. Not many off tracks, as a matter of fact. A pretty quiet night.
Yeah, that was the big thing. I guess I didn't know how far you could go out onto the painted area. I was watching Jesse, and then I realized I could probably get a little bit more speed over there without getting penalized for it. He was clearly the class of the field. I had nothing for him as the track got hotter, so it was honestly quite a drive from him. Everything though, it was good. As soon as I kind of built a gap up on Pat, I felt comfortable. It was just a little 34 lap marathon. Just had to get through it. I'm so glad it's over.
I can imagine. I'm not a fan of this track to drive, but man, you guys put on quite a show tonight, buddy. Great job.
Yeah, thank you. I want the old Roval back. This one sucks.
How about just getting rid of the Roval altogether?
No, because road courses are my thing a little bit, kind of.
Okay, but any of them other than the Roval?
That's fine, fair enough. But
This
yeah,
is
no,
an
thanks
abomination.
it is some amalgam of a track for sure.
Oh man, great job tonight, buddy. Congrats.
Hey, thank you so much.
Hey, good evening, Count. How are you, bud? And finally, our winner, a new dominator on road courses, Jesse Gordon. Jesse, I have to think, even if Cody had been here tonight, he couldn't have touched you.
I would much preferred him to be here to see if that was going to be a battle or not. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely had my tires under me, and as well as kind of figured out the track and the fast lines.
You definitely figured out something. You won by over 20 seconds, and man, you were running away. Even when you came up on lap traffic, it wasn't a big deal, and you didn't lose much time.
Yeah, it was just basically kind of hit your marks, try and get off the corners straight and as best as possible without spinning the tires, and that would save your tires throughout the whole run. And you had to kind of take corner entry and exits weird in order to do that, but that's kind of the fast way on this track because tires just fall off like a rock after 10 laps.
They were actually based on your lap times falling off after about 6.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was definitely trying to save my stuff, but yeah, they would fall off quite a bit, a second or two after about 6 to 8 laps or so, and just kind of making a 10 to 12 lap runs and then pit. Luckily, we had good tires, 2 tires left to fix that issue. So otherwise, if you had to run, half this race on tires, it would definitely be challenging for sure.
Well, man, you're the only driver under the 125 mark, a 20-second margin of victory, a really dominant night, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Looking forward to racing in the playoffs. This definitely helped me, and I needed it. So, hats off to everybody. Even lap traffic getting out of the way. That was really nice of them guys. And yeah, honestly, it was a fun race for me. And yeah, I would have much preferred, obviously, everyone to be here. But yeah, we'll move on to the next one.
And just imagine how much better you'd have done if you'd been driving a Chevy.
I don't know.
Job, man.
It might have not finished. Who knows?
No, it always finishes. Great job tonight, bud.
All right, yeah, you too. Thank you.
I think I caught him off guard with that one. Guys, thank you so much. Wow, what a performance by Jesse. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Don't forget tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. Jones BS Racing's final season continues. You don't want to miss that. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody.